My name is Tushar and I am a team member of SSB Test. SSB Test has decided to do a series of interview with the officer which can help the students who wants to achieve their career in armed forces. So in this series, this is the first episode and today we have Colonel Pradeep Walia sir. A brief introduction of Walia sir is he was an ex-interviewing officer at SSB Bangalore for 3 years and he has worked in all the three booths that is located in SSB boot, SSB Bangalore. Also, he was a helicopter pilot. He did his MBA from IIM Bangalore and now he's heading Defence Aspirant Academy at Jalandhar and preparing the candidates for exams such as CDS, AFCAT. And he's also mentoring the students for SSB. There has been more than 250 candidates who has already cleared the SSB under his mentorship. So it's a great honor to talk to you, sir. So the very first question that comes to my mind talking to you is that what motivated you to join the forces?
You see, Tushar, I tell my candidates also these days, the entire population of the world you can divide into two parts. One are the people who want to do 9 to 5 job, Saturday, Sunday off, air conditioned compartment, and they don't want anything else from life.
Yeah.
And second type of people are those who say, keep me away from the desk, adventurous outbound activities, they want to wear a uniform. So for
Yeah.
them, the first type does not suit. So I was possibly the second part. And right from my childhood, I've been a part of NCC, I've done scouting, I did NSS, so played various games. So I found, I am part of the second part of the people, second group of the people. And right from the childhood, I thought I would join that. So, and luck could have it, it came true.
ओके सर, हम लोग जब स्टूडेंट से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, जब काफ़ी सारे रिपीटर से इंटरेक्ट करते हैं, वी हैव ऑल्सो रेड लॉट ऑफ क्यूरस. So I just want to ask you, is it really tough to clear the SSB process?
You see, SSP has got a set standard laid out for them. Now, each one of us has got certain good points and certain weak areas.
Okay.
Now, when you see it from the SSB standard point of view, those weak areas possibly must be stopping you from qualifying in SSB interview. So, what is required is that somebody who tells you that these are your weak areas and you overcome them. And if you do that, you will definitely meet that requirement set by the SSB. आप निकल जाओगे. तो इतना सा ही खेल है. और ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है कि किसी की लाइफ में सारे वीक एरियाज ही हों और ऐसा भी कभी नहीं होता है कि सारे स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉइंट्स ही हों. Each one of us has got our share of strong points and weak areas. Only thing is to identify them and rectify them.
ओके सर, हम लोग जब इंटरेक्ट करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स से, स्पेशली फ्रॉम हरियाणा, उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान, वेयर पीपल द कैंडिडेट्स हैव क्रेज ऑफ जॉइनिंग द डिफेंस फोर्सेस. अभी उनके दिमाग में सबसे पहली चीज़ ये रहती है कि वी आर नॉट फ्लुएंट इन इंग्लिश. So is it mandatory to speak fluently in English during the SSB interview process? So there is a phobia amongst the candidates. So what is your views on it?
You see, I've been in SSP and I am highly impressed by the boys from Haryana
Okay.
because those kids, their spoken English may be weak, but their confidence is full on. And
Yeah.
that is what is required. As long as you are able to convey your meaning to the
Okay.
other person, language does not matter. And that's the purpose of the language actually, communication. At SSB, though the
Okay.
interview is conducted in English language, but wherever you get stuck or you are not getting a proper word, you can always switch on to Hindi. और जब आप comfortable हो जाते हो, again get back to English. That is allowed there. But only thing is you should be able to convey your meaning. So there are two aspects to this. One is don't get conscious that you are not able to, speak fluently in English. अगर
Okay.
हमारे घर में हमारी माँ हमारे से इंग्लिश में बात करती तो हमें भी इंग्लिश फ्लुएंटली आ जाती.
Sure, sir. Yes.
हमारे घर में ज्यादातर बातचीत हिंदी या रीजनल लैंग्वेज में होती है, इसीलिए तो उसको मदर टंग बोलते हैं, तो हमें वो फ्लुएंटली आती है। तो
Yes, sir.
इसके बारे में इतना ज्यादा चिंतित होने की जरूरत नहीं है। इंग्लिश इज नॉट द रीजन फॉर विच कैंडिडेट्स आर हेल्ड बैक, दैट आई कैन अश्योर यू।
Okay, that means that confidence is more important than speaking fluently in English. If you have the confidence, that means you have everything.
एब्सोल्युटली विद कॉन्फिडेंस इफ यू आर एबल टू कन्वे योर मीनिंग, दैट्स फेयर इनफ। बिकॉज जब आप अकेडमीज में जाओगे तो
Yes,
वो
sir.
मार मार के आपको अंग्रेजी सिखाई देंगे, बिकॉज देयर इट इज कंपल्सरी टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश।
Okay, right. Sir, now if I talk about the SSB interview process, so we have the two stages. First stage is the screening process, the day on which you enter the SSB board. तो या तो पहले दिन हमारा स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट होगा, अदरवाइज नेक्स्ट डे से हमारा स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट दैट इज स्टेज 1 चालू हो जाता है। एंड देन if he clears the stage 1, then he will be staying there for another 3 days before entering into the conference zone. तो जो स्टेज 1 रहता है उसमें हमारा पीपीडीटी और ओआईआर टेस्ट दो चीजें रहती है। So what according to you is more important, OIR or PPDT, or does it have the equal weightage?
यू सी, यू मस्ट अंडरस्टैंड दीज आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स। ओआईआर जो है वो बेसिकली है आपका आईक्यू लेवल चेक करने के लिए।
Okay.
इट इज इंटेलिजेंस रेटिंग टेस्ट, and it has been divided in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 depending on what level of intelligence is assessed for you.
Yeah.
तो ये एक अलग मुद्दा है। उसके बाद दूसरी चीज है आपका जो आपका पीपीडीटी किया जाता है, पिक्चर परसेप्शन एंड डिस्कशन टेस्ट।
Right.
अब पीपीडीटी में इफ यू रियली सी, आपने जो बाकी 3 दिन
Okay.
एसएसबी में लगाने हैं स्टेज 1 के अलावा, उसमें आपने साइकोलॉजिस्ट के साथ आपने 12 स्टोरीज करनी है। तो पीपीडीटी में आप क्या करते हो, आपको एक पिक्चर दिखाई जाती है जिसके ऊपर आप एक स्टोरी लिखते हो।
Correct.
उसके बाद में जब आपने स्टोरी लिख ली तो आप
Yeah.
एक एक मिनट के लिए अपनी स्टोरी को पढ़ के सुनाते हो
Yes.
without looking at the paper. And having done that, then you get into a group discussion, and
Mhm.
at the end of it, it is decided whether you will be taken to stage 2 or not. अभी इसको थोड़ा सा एनालिसिस करके देखते हैं। आपने एसएसबी के अंदर जो साइट टेस्ट देना है उसमें आपने 12 स्टोरीज लिखनी है। तो यहाँ
Right.
पे आप स्टोरी लिख रहे हो, और
Right.
जो बोर्ड में लोग बैठे हैं उसमें क्या है, इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर, जीपीओ और साइकोलॉजिस्ट बैठे हैं। तो
Right.
साइकोलॉजिस्ट को एक हिंट मिलता है कि अगर ये स्टोरीज लिखेगा ये स्टूडेंट तो कैसी स्टोरीज लिखेगा, क्योंकि एक स्टोरी उसने लिख के दिखाई है।
Right.
दूसरा, आपने इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर के साथ यू हैव टू कम्युनिकेट फॉर अ पीरियड ऑफ हाफ एन आवर टू 40 minutes. Here you are
Okay.
reading out your story and participating in the group discussion. So he will know whether you will be able to convey your meaning or no,
Okay.
whether you will be able to interact with him or no. So he gets a feel of it. In GPO tests, you will be doing your lectures where you are speaking for that 1 minute,
Right.
and you will be doing 3 group discussions with the GPO. Here you are
Right.
getting into a group discussion, so GPO also gets a feel whether you can participate in tests or no. So all assessors sitting there, they are getting a glimpse of the candidate from their test perspective. And आपने IQ level candidate का check कर लिया. Now the combination of your IQ level along with your participation in PPDT will ensure whether you are taken to stage 2 or no. Let me add, कुछ 20-25 साल पहले ये stage 1 नहीं होता था, and we used to
Yes, sir.
directly have those 3 days. तो
Yeah.
उसमें डिसएडवांटेज क्या होता था, कुछ बच्चे स्टेट बोर्ड से 90-95% लेके पास होते थे, लेकिन जब हम उनको इंटरव्यू में बिठाते थे वो बोल ही नहीं पाते थे, कुछ डिस्कस ही नहीं कर पाते थे, स्टोरी ही नहीं लिख पाते थे। So then they realize why waste your time on a candidate who's non-participative, क्योंकि उसको बीच में हम वापस भी नहीं भेज सकते।
Yeah.
तो फिर
Right.
ये स्टेज 1 शुरू किया गया ताकि उसका कैंडिडेट का एक फील बोर्ड को मिल जाए और वही कैंडिडेट आगे जाए जिसमें पॉसिबिलिटी हो रिकमेंडेशन। So it is based on your performance both in OIR and your PPDT, but there is no percentage laid out कि इतने परसेंट उसमें आएगा या इतने मार्क्स इसमें आएंगे, ऐसा करके कुछ नहीं होता है। It is on your overall performance on these two that you are taken to stage 2.
ओके सर. सर जनरली इट हैज बीन सीन कि जैसे कैंडिडेट, अगर कोई फ्रेशर कैंडिडेट है एंड इफ ही इज अपियरिंग फॉर द एसएसबी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम सिंस ही इज अ फ्रेशर, तो जब वो अपनी स्टोरी लिखता है पिक्चर आने के बाद एंड मेनी टाइम्स इज नॉट एबल टू कंप्लीट हिज स्टोरी, तो उस टाइम पे will he be able to complete his story during the narration or what should be his approach during, I mean अगर उसको ये प्रॉब्लम फेस हो रही है तो.
इसकी पहली बात तो ये समझने की है कि जो स्टोरी आप लिखते हो,
हम्म.
हम लोग उसको असेसर्स जो है वहां पे, हम लोग स्टोरी आपकी पढ़ते नहीं.
ओके.
वो स्टोरी आपको इसलिए लिखवाई जाती है सो दैट यू कैन मेक अप योर माइंड. इफ यू डू नॉट राइट इट डाउन, देन कभी आप अपने हीरो को डॉक्टर बना दोगे, रास्ते में पहुंचते पहुंचते आप उसको इंजीनियर बना दोगे, या हो सकता है कुछ और बना दो. बट वंस
राइट.
यू पेन इट डाउन, देन यू स्टार्ट फॉर्मिंग अप योर आइडियाज.
ओके.
So that is to help you out to write a story that we say that okay, you write it down. तो अगर आपने स्टोरी का एक दो सेंटेंस छूट गया है, आप लिख नहीं पाए हो, तो आप उसको ऐड करके बाद में स्टोरी में बता सकते हो. वी डोंट पेनलाइज यू फॉर दैट. इनफैक्ट कई बार यही डाउट कैंडिडेट्स जीटीओ से पूछ लेते हैं अपने ग्रुप डिस्कशन के अंदर कि सर मेरी स्टोरी रह गई थी, अब मैं उसका क्या करूं. तो जीटीओ विल टेल देम ओके, यू कंप्लीट इट एंड स्पीक इट आउट.
ओके.
Because this entire process is to help you out write a story, and that written part is not to check it out whether you completed the story or not.
Okay.
Understood?
Got it, sir. Got it. That means that the theme of the story should remain same during the screening process. Otherwise, it is not allowed to mold the story. बिल्कुल ही अलग लिख देना that we have written and narration कुछ और हो रहा है, so that shouldn't be done, right?
Because that will go against your thought process. You see, you are
Yes.
listening to the other candidates, and then you are
Yes.
changing your story. If you are doing that, you will never reach a complete story anywhere. But if you
Right.
genuinely written down that story, then your ideas are firm and you will stand by it.
Okay. सर जनरली हमारा जो डिस्कशन राउंड होता है तो रिपीटर्स बैच में ये देखा जाता है कि इट इज बिकमिंग अ फिश मार्केट. कैंडिडेट्स आर नॉट गेटिंग द चांस टू स्पीक. तो इस स्टेज के अंदर नरेशन कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, डिस्कशन कितना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, और सेकेंडली अगर ये सिचुएशन आती है तो कैंडिडेट को किस तरीके से हैंडल करना है.
फर्स्टली तुषार, जो नरेशन होता है वो तो आपका इंडिपेंडेंट टाइम है. फॉर दैट 1 minute नो वन इज स्पीकिंग, सो यू
यस सर.
ओनली हैव एवरीवनस अटेंशन.
या.
बट इसमें एक चीज ध्यान रखनी चाहिए कि नरेशन आपका उस 1 मिनट में कंप्लीट हो जाना चाहिए. बिकॉज you should understand there are so many candidates, so many batches, so there is scarcity of time,
यस.
and the board may not have patience to listen to you for 2-3 minutes. So in 1 minute you should be able to give out your story.
ओके.
नाउ सेकंड थिंग इज कि ये जो फिश मार्केट हो जाता है उसका क्या करें. पहली बात तो मैं आपको ये बता दूं, इट मे सरप्राइज यू,
या.
वी वांट द फिश मार्केट टू हैपन.
ओके.
We at
ओके.
SSB want the fish market to happen. Now it must be surprising because tell me, if GTO wants and tells everyone that no one will speak, only one candidate will speak at a time, no one else will interrupt him, or everyone will speak in their own turn, so there will be no fish market.
राइट.
But I don't want that way. You see, हमारा जो सही बिहेवियर है वो कब बाहर आता है? वो तब बाहर आता है जब हम गुस्से में होते हैं, एजिटेटेड होते हैं, फ्रस्ट्रेटेड होते हैं, तो हमारा सही कैरेक्टर बाहर आता है. अब मैं आपको वो उस प्रॉपर कंडीशंस में तो नहीं ले जा सकता उस गैदरिंग के अंदर, but I can always create conditions where you feel helpless, you feel a little frustrated because no one is allowing you to speak. So your true characteristic, the glimpse of that will start coming out, and that's what assessors are watching.
ओके.
But that does not mean that seeing the fish market, you do not participate in the group discussion at all. Because if you do not speak, then assessors do not have any machine or a radar that I can make out what is there in your mind. You will have to participate, then only uh, we will get what is there in your mind. Correct? So you must participate, keep participating till the end. If others can speak in the fish market, so should you be able to speak in the fish market. But remember, this fish market is created fish market, so you can't help it.
ओके. That means that you have to find a chance to speak and make the best
Absolutely.
use of that chance.
In
Okay.
freshers, the switch market is at a little lower level, but
Yes,
when
yes.
repeaters go there, that becomes at a higher level. That's why you're feeling the pinch, that no one is allowing you to speak. But yes, if you're creating ruckus in the fish market without giving any logical points, that will not go in your favor. So in that ruckus, in that fish market, if you are giving logical points, your group may not be listening to you, but remember there is a board member sitting there who are listening to
Got it. Now let's suppose that sir कि एक कैंडिडेट ने अपना स्टेज 1 क्लियर कर लिया है, अब स्टेज 2 पे आता है, he got the new chest number. अब नेक्स्ट डे उसका साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट होता है. ही इज अपियरिंग, नाउ आई एम कंसीडरिंग ए फ्रेशर कैंडिडेट, ही इज अपियरिंग फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. 15 seconds के अंदर he has to write a statement that is your bad word association test. अब प्रेशर तो रहता है कि क्या स्टेटमेंट लिखनी है इसके लिए, if a word honesty is coming or if a new word hope is coming. So what should be the approach there, like how he should frame his sentences?
Firstly, this is purposely created pressure on the candidate. Time is purposely given lesser so that whatever is there in your mind without thinking that comes out. I
Yes,
want to know what genuinely is that candidate made up of. If I
okay,
give, say, 5 minutes for every word, now everyone will think of the best possible word, pros and cons, put it through various filters from the SSB perspective, from whatever he's learned, from whatever he wants to convey. I don't want that. I want what is there in his mind that should come out. Correct. That is
yes,
why the time is less. Now is now there are certain rules that one need to follow, which are possibly conveyed there also. That your sentences should not start with I, me, my, he, she, it, Ramesh, Suresh. It should be no idioms and phrases. You should not use always and never. No statements of fact. Right. So all this is there. Now, when you're writing the sentence, now you've read. Firstly, if you do not understand the meaning of the word, do not make a sentence. Because if you do that, then invariably you may use it in the wrong usage and it will convey the different meaning. So don't do
yes,
that. But you cannot say that for out of 60 words, for 30 you did not understand the meaning. Because if you do not attempt 30 of them, then it is clear that you did not want to write some crap that came in your mind. So that will go against you. So, because you're getting equal time for all the 60, so actually speaking, you should be able to attempt all 60. Now
yes,
is the quality of sentence you said. Now, firstly, before I convey that, you can either use the word in the sentence. For example,
okay,
the word is mother. You can say mother is my best friend. You use this word in the sentence.
okay,
Or you can give out the feeling that comes in your mind after reading the word. For example, you say truest form of love. Now, reading the word mother, you said truest form of love. That means that feeling comes in your mind when you read that word. So that also can be written. Both are acceptable.
okay,
Now is the quality of sentence. Suppose the word is purchase, and you say I purchased consciously, or I purchased a car, or one is this level of words of using word purchase in this particular form. Now, suppose I have to use word purchase and make a sentence. Suppose I make honesty cannot be purchased. Now you compare it with a person who's purchasing an item from the market or a person who's saying that honesty cannot be purchased. If you compare these two sentences, the person who's saying that honesty cannot be purchased is trying to convey a part of his character where he possibly feels that honesty is something which cannot be purchased. Right?
right,
So that sentence comes out better than the ones that you've made that a material thing is purchased from the market. So, but the only thing is, start reading a lot. Whatever you feel, that only will come out. The mistake that people make is they start reading the books which are published in the market and they start mugging up those sentences. Now,
Right.
firstly, those sentences are your not, they are not conveying your personality. They are written by somebody else. So they will be
Yes.
contradicting with your inner personality. So one should avoid that. Yes, after reading those words, if genuinely you like some word or a sentence, that means that is going with your personality. So you can retain that. But
Hmm.
do not mug up those sentences. They should be your own sentences. And if you make your own sentences, then in the time of emergency, now those sentences you will be able to recall because they are part of your second nature. But if you are mugging up the sentences, you will not be able to recall them. That's another mistake that candidates make.
ओके सर। सर एक डाउट ऐसा था कि वैट के अंदर जनरली लाइक 60 वर्ड्स आर देयर। अभी बीच में एक ऐसा वर्ड आ जाता है विच आई हैव नेवर हर्ड ऑफ, या फिर मुझे सेंटेंस ही नहीं पता कि क्या बनाना है, तो मैं उस वर्ड को स्किप कर सकता हूँ, और अदरवाइज
बिल्कुल
आई हैव टू राइट।
उस वर्ड को स्किप ही करना चाहिए। अगर आपको जेन्युइनली मीनिंग समझ नहीं आया, लीव दैट वर्ड। बट वो
ओके।
कितने होंगे? दो तीन होंगे ना, दो तीन
यस।
चार होंगे, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होंगे।
ओके, गॉट इट सर। नाउ इफ आई कम टू द एसडी पार्ट, सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन पार्ट, अभी यहाँ पे सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन के अंदर शुड बी प्रिपेयर इट बिफोर द एसएसबी, या फिर एसडी के अंदर व्हाट शुड बी आवर अप्रोच, लाइक व्हाट शुड वी राइट देयर?
You see, we are spending our life, uh, you call it 360-degree assessment or 24 hours of our time.
राइट।
What are we spending it with? We are spending with our friends. If we are students, we are spending some time with our teachers. We are spending some time with our parents.
यस।
And whatever time you're not spending with anyone, you're spending it with yourself.
ओके।
And that's exactly what we are asking you to write in SSB self description. We are saying what your friends think about you, what your teachers think about you, what your parents think about you, what you think about yourself, and then what are your weak areas and how you want to improve on them. Right?
ओके।
Now, this is a 360-degree assessment of yours, basically. And
ओके।
what other people think about you should be writing down, and then what you think about yourself. Now, both these things should be interconnected. For example, say your friend says, तुषार तेरे को गुस्सा बहुत आता है। Now you may turn around and say, सालो तुम बात ही ऐसी करते हो, मुझे गुस्सा कहाँ आता है? So that means he is trying to convey a weak area of yours which you are
या।
not willing to accept. And if you do not accept it, then you can't even rectify it. Because
राइट।
first condition of rectifying a weak area is to accept it.
राइट।
Right? If you've accepted it, then possibly you can take a call to improve on it. So
राइट।
suppose friends have said कि तुम्हें गुस्सा बहुत आता है. When you are writing about yourself, then you will say, I used to lose temper at times. You can make it a little milder instead of saying I lose temper all the time. So I used to lose temper at times, but now I do not react immediately. I
राइट।
count till 20 or maybe have a glass of water or, leave that area. So by then the fit of anger is gone and my losing temper has gone down tremendously. Now what has happened? Your friend has pointed a weak area of yours. You have acknowledged it and then you've taken actions to improve on it. Now this is a complete cycle which is over. Now suppose your friends say you lose temper, and when you are writing about yourself, you do not write about it. That means what? That means people are finding a weak area in you which you are not willing to acknowledge. That's why you're not able to mention it also there.
राइट। राइट।
तो जो वीक एरियाज आपके पेरेंट्स ने, फ्रेंड्स ने, टीचर्स ने आपके बारे में बताए हैं, उसका रेक्टिफिकेशन और एक्नॉलेजमेंट आपको अपने सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ यू शुड राइट.
ओके,
And
दैट
I'm not
मीन।
saying that you should give 10 weak areas there, but at
या।
least give, at least two of them. Because we are not perfect human beings.
यार करेक्ट।
We should have at least two of them too.
ओके, दैट मीन्स दैट वी शुड राइट आवर सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन इन ए बैलेंस्ड मैनर। ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ गुड स्टफ से लिखना है, कुछ
Correct.
भी जो weak areas भी है, that we also have to mention there and how we are rectifying it.
Absolutely.
Okay, great sir. सर अभी हम आगे जाते हैं। लेक्चरेट एक ऐसी एक्टिविटी है जिसमें जनरली इफ यू सी दोज हु हैव फोबिया विद द इंग्लिश, वहां पे 3 मिनट के लिए जाके बोलना, 3 मिनट सोचने का टाइम है एंड सडनली यू हैव टू गो देयर ऑन द स्टेज एंड स्पीक इन फ्रंट ऑफ द होल ग्रुप। अभी यहाँ पे क्या अप्रोच रहती है? सपोज कोई भी ब्रिक्स आ जाता है, सार्क आ जाता है, कोई भी ऐसा टॉपिक आ जाता है विच इज नॉट अवेयर अबाउट इट, या ठीक है कोई भी ऐसा टॉपिक आ रहा है जो उसको थोड़ा बहुत पता है बट ही नोज दैट आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू स्पीक फॉर 3 मिनट्स, तो वहां पे क्या अप्रोच लेके कैंडिडेट को जाना चाहिए लेक्चरेट के अंदर?
पहले तो लेक्चरेट का जो आपको प्ले कार्ड मिलता है उसके अंदर देर आर
यस सर।
4 टॉपिक्स।
राइट राइट।
Out of those 3 4 topics which are there, now you can divide these topics in various categories.
राइट।
Let's call it category A topics, for example, Sino-India relations
ओके।
or Indo-China relations as we call it. Now, these are such topics that if you read about it or you prepared about it, then you can speak even for 30 minutes.
राइट।
But if you have not prepared about it, then you can't even speak for 1 minute about this.
राइट।
Then let's call them B level topics. These are related to social problems, female feticide, corruption, child marriage, or all these
सोशल इश्यूज।
issues which are there, female feticide. That you heard something about these, you have some idea, views about this. So if you strain your mind, you will be able to speak something on that. They are B level topics.
ओके।
Then you get into C level topics. For example, essay on a cow, my best friend, what is your best hobby. Now they appear to be very easy topics.
राइट।
But if you actually have to speak about it, they are very difficult to extend them to
यस।
for 3 minutes.
राइट।
For example, if you say my best friend, so Tushar is my best friend, I give out 3 4 qualities of Tushar. Now what?
राइट।
Unless you are able to give out some anecdote, some experience, you will not be extended to 3 minutes. So if you can handle a topic which is A level topic, that is the best. But pick it up only if you have prepared for it. Otherwise, you'll make a fool of yourself. If you've not prepared A level topic, then you go for B level topic and then do justice to it. And if you can handle a C level topic, then only pick it up. Otherwise, you will pick it up, but then you will find that it's very difficult to cover 3 minutes.
राइट।
Another mistake that candidates make is that you get 3 minutes to select a topic and prepare on it. So what we do is we pick up one topic, say Indo-China, then we start thinking about it, think for about 15 20 seconds, then you find, oh no, I can't speak on this. This is too tough. Then you go on to the second topic. You pick up child labor, and then you start thinking about it, say, oh no, this is also too tough. Then you move on to the third. What are you doing in turn? You're wasting a lot of time. So when you pick up a placard, within about 10 seconds or 15 seconds, you should have shortlisted a topic and put the card upside down that you are not going to change this topic. Now you will speak only on this. Our
ओके।
mind has got a peculiar way of thinking. If it has two options, it will keep moving from one to the other. But once you close all the options, then it will think only in that direction, that option which is available to it. So once you close all the other options, your mind will start thinking, you'll start getting the points. So that is first thing that you should do. And
ओके।
second thing is, all these topics which are available, you can get them in the net. This list is available of the current topics which are possibly, being around. You allot one page each for the topic, take help of the Google Baba if required, and write those facts and figures which are available in the Google. And what is this topic? What are points for it? What are points against it? What is the current situation? What do you think about it? And then close the topic. If you go under these headings and you've written it point wise, then obviously when you're speaking, you can expand those points and it will become easier for you to cover those 3 minutes. But remember, when we are saying that you should cover those 3 minutes, don't extend it beyond 3 minutes. because time is at premium, and then GTA will automatically give a shut up call and make you sit down. So try and finish it. Once he says 2.5 minutes are over or 30 seconds are left, then wind up your topic. Don't extend it beyond 3 minutes.
Okay. Now let's suppose that if a candidate has performed very well in lecturate, like he was reading newspaper daily and he was able to narrate the lecturate properly. Now the second thing is that सर जीपी एक्सरसाइज जब होती है हमारी ग्रुप प्लानिंग एक्सरसाइज, ठीक है अभी तक हमारा परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा था, नाउ ही इज नॉट एबल टू प्रोवाइड द सॉल्यूशन और नथिंग इज कमिंग इन हिज माइंड ड्यूरिंग द जीपी प्रोसेस. How important is the group planning exercise during the whole SSB interview process?
You see, maybe in future when we do this series,
Mhm.
specifically we can pick up these and maybe spend a session on that.
Yeah.
However, the all the three assessors, interviewing
Mhm.
officer, GPO, and psychologist, they
Yeah.
are checking the candidate from three different directions
Yeah.
by three different techniques on same parameters.
Mhm.
उनका तरीका चेक करने का अलग अलग है,
Mhm.
लेकिन जो पैरामीटर्स हैं जिसके ऊपर वो चेक कर रहे हैं वो सेम. करेक्ट.
Okay. Hmm.
अब ये जो एज यू राइटली सेड ग्रुप प्लानिंग एक्सरसाइज, द नेम सजेस्ट दैट ही इज ट्राइंग टू चेक आउट on parameters of how best you are in planning a particular thing,
Okay.
right? So this is a particular aspect of your personality that is trying. No particular test makes you get recommended in SSB, and no particular test makes you get rejected in SSB. It is the sum total of your personality which is assessed.
Hmm.
You will be surprised that he will check you out in all these tests, then close his eyes and try to see that as a person, as a whole person, whether you are fit enough, whether you have the potential to join a defense forces or no.
Yes.
If his mind says yes, accordingly he will assess you in the various tests.
Okay.
It never happens that out of this test I have given you 5 points, out of this you got 3 points, now you got 1 point, and total of this is so much and you pass. This
Hmm.
doesn't happen in SSB. You must understand personality analysis is a highly subjective test.
Okay.
And we are trying to make it objective so that we can put you, we can give you some marks in some manner so that we can make a merit list out of it. So the way it
Yes.
is followed is that you check the candidate in a wholesome manner and then
Okay.
break it down into various tests. So as you said that GPE, how will it affect? It will affect in that planning aspect. Maybe it will come out stronger, it will come out weaker, it will come out average. That will be depending on the performance of the candidate. But no single test has the impact of getting you recommended.
Okay, sir. Sir, abhi ek interview itself is a big topic to discuss, and we will be covering the same in the series also. बट एक डाउट है जो क्योरा पे भी पढ़ने को मिलता है कैंडिडेट्स, और ये काफ़ी सारे कैंडिडेट्स अ, इस क्राइटेरिया में आ जाते हैं. एक कैंडिडेट है जो बहुत ही एवरेज है एकेडमिक्स के अंदर, एंड ही हैज़ डन हिज ग्रेजुएशन 3 years बैक. अभी ही इज़ प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द डिफेंस एग्जाम. He is not doing any job. He is preparing for the government exam only. He went to the SSB. Ab, it is quite evident that IO will going to show. IO will surely going to ask him ki what is your backup plan. You have been preparing for this exam for 3 years. You have not cleared it. अभी इस सिचुएशन में कैंडिडेट को कैसे हैंडल कर रहा है?
Uh, you see, हम सिर्फ ये पूछ रहे हैं कैंडिडेट से कि ये जो 3 साल आपने बिताए हैं, उन
हम्म.
3 साल में आपने क्या किया? Have you spent those 3 years constructively,
हम्म.
or you have wasted those 3 years?
राइट.
पहली बात तो 3 साल अगर वो ग्रेजुएशन के बाद छोड़ेगा, इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट, ही मे नॉट बी लेफ्ट विद एनी चांसेस. तो मे बी 1 या 2 साल का गैप हो तो पॉसिबली ही विल बी एलिजिबल,
राइट.
or maybe for short service commission he is going, so maybe he is eligible, or a JAG branch entry. which is up
Yes.
to 27 years, so he will be eligible. Otherwise, he may not have those chances left. But even if he's got those chances, or if you have a break in your academics, or after 1 year, you are going to appear for the SSB, only thing we are satisfying ourselves is that you've taken this 1 year break or a drop somewhere. Was it useful or no? You say, sir, I had taken a break to appear for JEE exam,
Mm.
right? And then I ask you, what was your, ranking? Then you say it was 4,25,000. So that means the break that you have taken, that
Has
has
no
not
use.
helped you, or maybe you have not utilized that break judiciously or properly.
Right.
So which will go possibly against you. But if you say, sir, my ranking was 75,000, however, I did not get a college of my choice, so I did not join, which is fair enough. You spent time, you did well, your ranking was not bad, and possibly you were not able to get a college of your choice, so you did not want to join, so you left it. Now that was a time well spent. So then I am okay with it. Same thing goes with the break that you got. If you say, sir, I was doing a job side by side and I was preparing for the SSB and I could not clear earlier, so now I have come again because I have cleared the written examination, which is fair enough. But if you say for 3 years you've done nothing, you prepared only for this, and all these chances you've not made up, then there is something wrong. After all, how many chances would you like to give to yourself for success? Maybe one, two, three, four. Somewhere you have to put a stop. Otherwise,
Yes.
it is foolhardy.
Right, sir. सर अभी जैसे हम कैंडिडेट से मिलते हैं, now he has already appeared for the SSB and he was conferenced out. Now he always says that now I've become a repeater, and there is a phobia amongst the repeaters that it will be difficult for me to clear the SSB. So I want to ask you, is it really difficult to clear the SSB when you become a repeater?
You see, when you're going for the first time, so
Yes.
there is no history of yours.
Right.
I take it the candidate has come for getting recommended and he's got the potential to become an officer,
Yes.
unless he proves otherwise. And I have nothing in the history to say that he's got these weak areas. Correct? So
Right.
that is why I say the first chance is your best chance. So never go to get experience in the SSB. Always go to get recommended, even if you are going for the first time, because that is your best chance.
Mm.
Now, for some reason, you were not recommended the first time. Now you are going for the second time. What does it mean? It means there was something in you that SSB did not like. Now, when I am interviewing a candidate who's come as a repeater, I am trying to find out what was wrong with him that he was not recommended last time. And having found that, has he improved on it or no?
Right.
And then there is a set format in which we ask those questions in the interview to a fresher. Now, when he is coming for the second time, now he is aware what set of sequence will be followed. So, for the repeater, interviewing officer has got no option but to change that set sequence.
Right.
Candidate should not become too comfortable in answering, no, then he will be taking my interview, right?
Right. Yes.
So the sequence for him will not be the same as it was for the
Fresher
first
candidate.
time or the fresher. This is the only difference. Otherwise, SSB or the interviewing officer there is open to selecting or recommending a candidate who's come as a repeater. If he cannot recommend a candidate, then why would he call him for the SSB the next time? Army could have said no. If you get recommended in the first time, it's okay. Otherwise, we will not allow you to come again. We are
Right.
calling you because we find there is a possibility of change in you. After all, what is our personality? Our personality keeps going under a change with various circumstances, time, experiences, and maybe the weakness that you had earlier, you have improved on it. That
Right.
is why we are giving you another chance.
Right.
So go with an open mind. There is no restriction on the board not to recommend you when you are going as a repeater. But only thing is this tag of being a repeater will be there, and you will be seen from that prism that there was something in you that made you not recommended last time.
ओके। एक क्वेश्चन तो हमेशा मेरे दिमाग में भी और सबके दिमाग में रहता है कि इज इट मैंडेटरी टू गो फॉर कोचिंग व्हेन यू आर गोइंग फॉर द एसएसबी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम?
Uh, you see, I told you earlier that each one of us has got certain strong areas and certain weak areas. And unfortunately, we are not able to put a finger on our weak areas ourselves. And as I told you, your first chance is your best chance. Now, problem happens when you take a coaching. Most of the academies where they because of their own comfort, what they do is they put all the candidates in a set format. They
राइट।
will show one picture, and you write a story about it. And after each one has written a story, instead of checking the individual story, they will show an ideal story on the screen. Now, even if my story is acceptable as a candidate, I find there is an ideal story on the board. I would like to write the ideal story. No, I'll change my story to the ideal story. And
राइट।
exactly in the SSB, we will come to know that this guy has come from so and so academy because this ideal story belongs to them. And he has changed whatever naturally his personality was to an ideal story, which is forced on him. Requirement is that candidates should be put through all these tests, and then corrections should be given only in the areas where he is weak. Rest of the personality of candidate should be left untouched, so that the natural flavor of the candidate is not missing. If
राइट।
you find somebody who's doing this, there is no harm done in taking guidance. We want to clear PMT examination or JEE examination, IAS, IPS. We do take coaching, and
यस सर।
coaching is what? To enhance your capabilities that you have. So there is nothing against coaching. SSB doesn't give you negative points for undergoing coaching. So we don't, put a cross on you when you say that I have undergone guidance or coaching module. So that is acceptable. But only thing
राइट।
is where you take this guidance, be selective in that so that your natural flavor is not lost. So I recommend that yes, one should take guidance and then go so that your chances are improved.
ओके। सर जनरली मतलब हमने कई बार ऐसा देखा है कि इवन अ रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट गेट स्क्रीनड आउट ड्यूरिंग हिज नेक्स्ट एसएसबी। तो व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड इट? और ये जो हो रहा है इट इज हैपनिंग विद इन अ स्पैन ऑफ 1 or 2 months. लेट्स सपोज टुडे ही गॉट रिकमेंडेड, आफ्टर 1 month he is having another SSB, and in that SSB he got screened out. So what is the reason behind that?
उसके दो कारण हैं, मेजर कारण। एक कारण तो ये है कि जब मैं रिकमेंड हो जाता हूँ तो
Hmm.
आई पुट माई कॉलर ऑन टॉप एंड से कि अब तो मैं ऑफिसर लाइक आदमी हूँ और अब मेरे को कोई नॉट रिकमेंड नहीं कर सकता। You
Yes.
must remember, we are doing it on your performance in those 5 days that you are there with SSB. It is the same reason when a not recommended candidate comes
Hmm.
and he performs well in those 5 days, he gets recommended.
Right.
So same thing applies to the recommended candidate. When a recommended candidate comes, he does not perform in those 5 days, he will not be recommended.
Right, sir.
And this possibility of change is always there. Don't we know of Valmiki ji? Before he became Saint Valmiki, what was Valmiki ji doing?
He was a
He was
ghoul, I
a
think.
dacoit. He
Yeah.
was a dacoit,
Yeah,
right?
decoy.
But one fine day, his personality changed and he became a Saint Valmiki. And we
Yes.
got him, writing Ramayana for the world. So there is a possibility of change in personality. That is why you are given chances one after the other. But at the
Hmm.
same time, you are assessed on your present performance in the 5 days that you are there at SSB. So a recommended candidate, if he does not perform, he will not be recommended. And if a not recommended candidate performs well in those 5 days, he will be recommended.
Right, sir. So that's it, sir. Thank you for your valuable time, sir. And I'm very sure that this discussion would be helpful for all the candidates who are dreaming to make their career in the defense forces. And once
It was a
again, Jai
wonderful
Hind, sir.
interaction, Tushar. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir.